Thomas Masterson Hardy was born on the 2nd of June in 1849 in Dorchester, England. His grandmother and mother were notable and purposeful women with spirited and lively minds.
So, Thomas, would you like to hear another folk legend tonight? You're just like your father, so quiet.
Hardy inherited a passion for music from his father. He began playing the fiddle at an early age. Hardy travelled to London in April 1862 and found employment designing and restoring churches and rectory houses. He remained here for 5 years and made use of all its facilities by visiting art galleries and attended concerts, lectures and public dances.
I love writing poetry in my spare time.
In 1870, Hardy met Emma Gifford.
Oh, my hat! Is this yours? Yes, thank you. I'm Thomas. I'm Emma.
In 1867, a tidal sewer forced Hardy to return to Dorset. He still worked as an architect, but began his career as a novelist.
But I hate the rugged landscape of Dorset. Dearest Emma, I hope I'll be able to see you soon. My novel, Desperate Remedies, has finally been published. It's reasonably successful, so I'll be able to leave architecture for good. Yours lovingly, Tom. Emma, will you marry me? Yes!
In 1898, Hardy's fiction was criticized greatly.
Pessimistic outlook? Promoting sexual immorality? I never said anything about the cruelty of the universe. How dare they criticize my novels? I'd better write poetry instead.
In 1912, Hardy's wife, Emma, died.
Oh, Emma, why did you leave me?
Upon a noon I pilgrims through a pasture mile by mile, unto the place where I last saw my dead love's living smile. But grows my grief when I surcease, through whom alone lives she. Ceases my love, her words, her ways, never again to be.
Mr. Hardy, where would you like your papers? Just there, Miss Dugdale. You're such an efficient secretary.
The bleak twigs overhead.
I dislike this dark, rugged landscape.
The land's sharp features seem to be the century's core outlent. I leant up on a coppice gate when frost was spectre grey.
I like unstructured rhythms and colloquial diction and variety of meters and stanzaic forms. Look how miserable they are. To analyze their condition, how interesting that would be to write about. These naturalist themes of the struggle of mankind is so fascinating, and it states how life is affected by external factors, just like Darwin's theory of evolution. Science is much more powerful than religion. I no longer believe in a benevolent God.
In 1914, Hardy married Florence Dugdale. his secretary.
Thomas, you've received a letter. Thank you.
Hardy was heavily affected by the First World War. In addition, his distant cousin, whom Hardy wanted to make his heir, Frank George, died at Gallipoli in 1915. Only a man harrowing clods in a slow, silent walk, with an old horse that stumbles and nods, half asleep as they stalk. Only thin smoke without flame from the heaps of couch grass, yet this will go onward the same, through dynasties pass. Yonder a maid and her white come whispering by, war's annals will cloud into night, ere the story die. Hardy's In Time of the Breaking Nations was published in the Saturday Review for 29th of January 1916. Hardy died in 1928. His body was cremated and buried in Westminster Abbey, but his heart is buried in Stinsford Churchyard, in Emma's grave. Hardy was a significant influence on later poets, including Frost and Philip Larkin. Hardy's works are still being studied today, which show how great an effect he had on society. He gives a different insight of the Victorian world, especially compared to Charles Dickens and Elizabeth Gaskell.